Welcome back to Marvel Media
All right.
Podcast, where we talk about all things media, especially Marvel. I'm Blake, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Alex and Josh.
And welcome to another episode of DC Discussion. Today we'll be discussing the new slate that James Gunn unveiled just a couple days ago. Yeah, it was interesting. It was a weird way for him to kind of announce this. I thought they were going to do this big kind of presentation. Turns out it was just going to be a social media video. You know, he's going to drop it on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. This is our stuff, and this is what we're going to do. So we're going to dive into it with the first thing before we even go into like the new stuff. He announced that Shazam is going to be the first film, and then Flash, and then a universe reset. So what are you guys' thoughts on that?
I mean, the fact that the Flash is still going. I mean,
I know.
it's just like there's got to be there's something there, you know? What, I don't know, some form of something is happening to allow that film to keep going. Because there's just no way that this man was just running across the country with a kid he stole and just allowed to still have a movie to come out and it be a focal point for a whole universe reset, you know? So I don't know. It's just
It
wild
is.
that you can't just cancel.
It really
that
is
movie.
crazy. How does that happen? How do we just not do anything about it?
I mean, it's funny, but it's really messed up.
Yeah,
Like-
it is. And James Gunn even said in the video, like, a movie I personally really like, or something like that. So, like, he's seen it. So it's finished. And we're just trying to wait and hope that the storm blows over, I guess, is the plan on Ezra. Bold. Don't know why, but, I mean, let's be real. Any of the next 4 movies coming out for DC, I don't really count or care about, because James Gunn really doesn't have anything to do with them. I feel like all of them were just too deep. They couldn't do anything. So, I don't know. Me personally, I don't have any hopes for the next 4. Will I even see all of them? Who knows? Shazam. I'll catch you on HBO Max a week after it gets released in movie theaters, because nobody's going to go see it in theaters, so it'll just go straight to HBO. So maybe I'll watch it if I get bored enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, personally, I don't really care about the 4. James just kind of touched on them. I feel like because he has to, because they've put too much money into them already. So Warner Brothers, like, yeah, those are happening. Need you to mention them, so hopefully people see them. But yeah, that's really my thought on all 4 of those that he touched on in the beginning of that video.
I mean, there's
Yeah,
not
and
a
those-
single. Oh, sorry, there's not like a single movie besides Blue Beetle that doesn't have a controversy with coming out. Because just recently, Shazam, the actor or whatnot, I can't think of his
Exactly,
name,
Ben.
just like
Zachary
had a
Levi.
whole, had like a whole anti-vax moment on Twitter and everything, and now he's getting shit for that. So people are angry about that right before the movie coming out. And then Ezra Miller, obviously, all of last year, they were just going crazy. And then Aquaman, Amber Heard. So really, it's just all 3 movies there just have something really bad, and the budgets for them just had to be enormous to just not straight up cancel the film. But yeah. Anyway, just continue asking what you're saying.
No, I was just gonna say like the 4 in question are Shazam, Fear of the Gods, The Flash, Blue Beetle, and Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom. Yeah, I don't know, man. I have it here. It's like it clearly states it's going to be a universe reset after The Flash, and then from there on out, it's going to be what they're planning on doing. I guess they're trying to write in Jason Momoa's Aquaman in there somehow. I can see Blue Beetle working. You know, they're like, okay, this is not going to be their new thing, but yeah, I mean, and this is not even like the biggest head scratcher yet. I mean, yeah, we'll get into it when we get to the chapter 1, Gods and Monsters, which is what the first quote unquote phase is called.
Whoa, it's not a phase.
It's a doozy.
Chapter. Come on.
It's a chapter. Yeah, so I guess let's get into chapter 1, Gods and Monsters. What are your guys' thoughts? With Creature Commandos is a animated series.
Boo.
Bold going out with animation right off the bat. Interesting start. I don't know. Like, I like what they're going to try to do. It definitely feels like James Gunn is obviously going to try to be different from Marvel, it seems like. That was the vibes you immediately got. But I mean, how different can you be from their successful model? AKA, how much will Warner Brothers allow them to be different? But he said, to maybe entice people to actually watch the animated series, that they will bring those characters to life with the same actors voicing them. So on one hand, that's kind of cool. Other hand, still I think is bold to start off to start off your series. It definitely doesn't, in my eyes, seem like you're that confident immediately in your start to the universe. That's definitely a really soft way to launch it. So
I mean, among other things, but yeah.
Yeah, especially when you compare it to everyone else and all their other universes going on. Be interesting. I have to give it a shot, so I'll be watching it. But yeah, interesting.
It definitely is. I mean, like you said, it is pretty cool that allegedly, as of now, the plan is to have them voice act those characters and then bring them to live action screens, which is something cool that'll be kind of interesting if they actually are able to do it. Who knows with Warner Brothers how soon all this will end up getting pulled. Probably after Aquaman, none of this will actually happen. But if it does happen, it might be kind of cool. But at the same time, I mean, it's animated series. Like, what are you doing? How are you launching? If that is like the official kind of launch of it. First off, doing it with the TV series, I think, is lame. Like, that's stupid to me. You have to do a big movie. That just have to.
Especially since DC's good with their animated movies. I mean, those have been hits recently.
You're just hoping all of us are going to care enough when it starts to sit down and more than likely release an episode for like a couple weeks at a time, because that's, I don't know, I don't like that idea. But yeah, can't really say too much on the characters. Don't know DC that deep, so a lot of these characters don't have a huge knowledge of. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, like you said, I'm gonna watch it just to see, because I have a lot of faith in James Gunn. I think he is, we all love the Guardians. As of now, the two. Obviously, the trilogy comes out later this year. But, we have faith in him. But, yeah, I just don't. Animated series, to me, is just like, you got to do a movie, and doing animated is kind of lame.
Yeah, and my thing really is more, it's not the fact that it's like an animated series or a movie or whatever. It's the fact that you're choosing to introduce characters that are kind of obscure from the get-go, which is like a little weird. Like, you would think you'd want to use your big hitters first, like a Batman, a Flash, Superman, a Wonder Woman. Instead, you're introducing, like Booster Gold in here, Creature Commandos, the Authority. I mean, let's be honest here. I don't really know too much about them. I mean, out of all of these characters, I'd say Superman, Supergirl, Swamp Thing, Lanterns, and Amanda Waller, because obviously we've already been introduced to her before in different movies and games. But I don't know, man. It's a little weird, but it's what they're planning, so it is what it is, I guess. That's just what kind of confuses me, is why would you do that? Just put in some like literally, like, it's like starting the Marvel universe with the Guardians. Like, no one knew who they were, but the difference is that there was already an established universe, and then you introduce them, a phase or two in
chapters,
I guess, if you're planning on doing it this way. Well, I'm just saying that's how Marvel did it, so I would think that's how you would at least try to do it here. Like, once you got your audience engaged is when you introduce all these like cool and obscure characters that no one has heard too much about. But yeah, I mean, let's go into the next one. Amanda Waller, the live action series apparently has the Peacemaker team with them. Thoughts on that?
I mean, I love the character, so the fact that she's getting love is great. But I would say right off the bat, I mean, just it's like, yes, I got faith in James Gunn, but already the projects that he's announced and talked about, and the fact, Peacemakers being in this as well, it definitely seems some of these projects are more It's not more about the DC universe. It's more about just James Gunn being kind of a fan and what he would love to do type of beat. It's like his fan projects that he just wants to
Right,
make,
yeah.
you know? So it's like, how does this going to later
Yeah.
correlate into, you know, a great DC universe? So it's like, hey, I don't blame him. You know, he's got the power. He wants to do what he wants to do, obviously. But off the bat, I can't just not think, like, already, it just seems like, oh, you really love these niche characters and you want to intertwine your guys that you've already done with into this. So
Right, on that same
I don't know.
that same
see.
level, it just is kind of confusing. Like, okay, so now we're bringing stuff from Peacemaker, and like we're still doing all these projects. It's like, so where's the hard reset?
Mhm.
Where's the continuity of like, what are we doing? Like, so does that mean everything from like Peacemaker is going to correlate? Just like that's, I don't know. Like I said, if you're doing a hard reset, do a hard reset. It doesn't make sense to me for them just to
Yeah.
be like, you know, we're going to put out these movies and then now we're finally going to reset. And then it's like, oh, we're going to bring in some of this stuff. So I don't know. Overall, like you said, though, I like Amanda Waller. She was a cool character in honestly both the Suicide Squad movies. And obviously, Viola Davis is just an amazing actress. So, you know, it's cool to have, assuming she's
Which she's coming
continuing that
back for,
role.
apparently.
Right, assuming she's continuing that role.
She
Yeah.
is, yeah.
Then, you know, that's obviously a huge star to know for sure you're going to have for, you know, future projects because I'm sure she'll be around more than just that. But so yeah, I mean, again, it's kind of interesting that, you know, Waller, she's getting her own show at such a big focal point of this launching a whole new DCU. But you know, I'm not opposed to it just because we've seen the character already performed by Viola Davis. She does a great job. Hopefully, though, she's showing up with heavy hitters with her, like Black Adam, played by The Rock. Hopefully, she's able to bring him over too.
I highly doubt it, considering how he responded to James Gunn's new plan. So he probably won't see that. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of just like another thing where like I'm so confused. Like, okay, so what is the point of your universal reset, specifically after the Flash? That you're still going to keep Jason Momoa as Aquaman, assuming that's the case.
Somehow.
And then already he in the video he confirmed Viola Davis is Amanda Waller, so she's already going to be one that's going to stay from the previous. I mean, yeah, but like this is the thing is like if you're going to do like a hard reset, are you going to do it right, or are you just going to do like
No,
just
they're
keep
not.
what you liked? And obviously, like
Yeah.
Henry Cavill, what was the biggest issue there? Like he was perfect for it, but he's not. Apparently, he didn't make the cut. But Viola Davis and Jason Momoa do still. Now, both of those are great, but like that just makes it seem like you just are picking your favorites here. So, yeah, that's just me. Will I watch it? I mean, I'll give it a chance. It's not like I'm not going to give it a chance, but again, it's a weird way to start your reset, I guess. Speaking of Superman, it is. Speaking of Superman, the first, I guess, quote unquote movie that will launch this chapter will be Superman Legacy, coming out July 11th, 2025. James Gunn is writing it. I don't think he's directing it. He may or may not direct it, but he's just in the process of writing it. I mean, you didn't really dive too much deeper into that, so I don't know what you guys would like to add to the conversation around this movie.
My biggest shock was the fact that he said himself he was writing it, that he's, taken over, and then he's taken over, their biggest character, I'd say, per se, to launch this, first chapter. So, that's, I don't know how to feel about that. Once again, it's kind of like there's a lot on this guy, and like he's also writing the animated series that's first launching, and then now he's also supposed to be writing Superman. So that seems like a big workload there to really, hit the landing, as well as he's, supposed to be there, Kevin Feige, and he's doing all the direction for everything else as well. So I don't know. I don't know. I would say for this, out of all the titles in this, the Superman one is not the one that excites me the most. It's probably the one I would worry about the most.
Yeah,
That's how I kind of feel about
yeah, I
that.
agree. I think it's gonna be a very like you said, he mentioned in the video the first big whatever he said, but this is the movie. It's gonna be very interesting to see. First off, who is gonna be Superman? We can, I would say at this point, safely say it's not Henry Cavill. I mean, I feel like we can very safely say that. Um, so first off, who's it gonna be will be very interesting, and just that casting alone will kind of give us a lot of feel for what's going to happen just based off age. Because I mean, obviously, we'll talk to the about the Batman one later, but that one already is going to
Hmm.
have a Robin, Damian. So I don't know. It just seems a bit weird. I don't know. I just overall seems very weird. Like they don't fully know what they're doing yet. You have such a weird mixture of like these random characters that nobody's really heard of, or at least, I mean, we haven't. I shouldn't say nobody, but we haven't heard of that. I feel like most people probably don't, at all. And then at the same time, you're also going to be starting it with big hitters like Superman, and he's supposed to be writing all, but at the same time, like I almost feel like if you wanted to go that kind of obscure route, just be obscure and eventually add in everybody, but to try to add in all that at the same time just kind of seems like that's a lot to unveil a whole
It's
new
it's
thing.
it's, it's a lot. It's kind of messy.
Like
Yeah.
we got with obviously Marvel's going to be the big comparison that a lot of people's going to do because that's the big superhero not only competitor DC and Marvel Comics but just in terms of MCU is massive. like like you said, it was Iron Man and Thor and all of those solo movies building up to their big movies. It wasn't like, oh, we got Ant-Man, or not Ant-Man, Iron Man 1 and then Guardians of the Galaxy 1 like a year after. It just seems like,
Hmm. Yeah, it was a very slow
and it
burn
just seems like they are doing a
because, like,
lot.
yeah, you got to win over the casual fans here, the casual audience for your movies to be hits, and it's like Booster Gold. That's a character I know, and I love this cameo in like the Injustice comics. But I mean, like, I think I'm really excited for that. But I mean, for like a casual fan at all, they have no fucking clue who the hell that is,
No
and
idea.
it might even be a very hard sell for marketing that. But I mean, I think they could, if they play the cards right, that could be actually a really, really good series there for that one. Because I don't know, it says live action series, so I assume that means TV show,
Yeah.
not movie. But I think that actually is one I'm very interested. But yeah, like you said, like you're launching such obscure things that I think it's going to be hard when you got Warner Brothers that is just so money hungry right now because of failed projects and them canceling so much that it's like you're being really bold here, and it's really going to be a test of how much they believe in James Gunn, and then the fact that he's also now, you know, being the whole director of the whole universe, and then also writing the first two projects for it. That is a lot for somebody to do and handle.
Yeah.
So
I
it's really going to be a test of what he's doing.
can't.
I know. It's a lot of faith in one person. I mean, I know he has a partner and everything, but I don't know, man. It's like the difference is that the MCU had no competition at the time, or like they really didn't have to compete with anybody because
Hmm.
clearly DC was doing their own thing with the Dark Knight trilogy and all that. So they just literally put out Iron Man, see if it will stick, and then from there, they started to build their universe. They didn't start introducing live action series or cartoon series or shows or whatever until Phase 4, and here we are in Chapter 1 of the DC universe, under James Gunn, and we're already having you know uh, a animated series, a live action series, a movie, and they all seemingly connect, even though there's some obscure characters, some really well known characters, some kind of like background characters. I mean, I don't know how I feel about it. Still, like I like the fact that they gave us something, but at the same time, I would have preferred them to just, I don't know, think it through a little bit more, because I mean, I feel like even now they didn't really. They just got like the keys to DC like not too long ago, and they're throwing in some of these obscure projects in there. I'm like, are you sure you want to do that like right off the bat? Because like
Yeah.
I don't know, it's confusing. I mean, okay, well, let's just move on. The next live
Well,
action
I would say real
series
quick
is
though, like
Lanterns. Oh,
I would say real quick, like I think they thought it through, but I think the big issue is like it's a lot of projects already coming out like so fast. And like if you look at Marvel and even with their Disney Plus shows, like if you look at the viewership on those, not all of them have crazy views. And it's like with how successful the MCU is, they can't even get everybody to watch their shows that matter in their universe. So that's why we're saying like it's such a big deal that you're already launching shows right away that are going to be really critical in your first phase
Chapter.
to learn way down the road. Well, yeah, chapters, like way down the road. So it's like that's kind of like our big point. I really think is it's very bold, and obviously we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, yeah, definitely go on to the next one.
yeah, the live action Green Lanterns is going to be a TV show. Apparently, it's going to have Hal Jordan and John Stewart, the two main Green Lanterns. So, uh, so confused, really confused. I mean, I like that we're trying to bring in the Green Lantern Corps, but at the same time, it's like if I'm supposed to be understanding this chapter, we're supposed to go an animated series, a live action series, a film, and then another live action series.
Well, did he officially announce
I
the
don't know how I
order
feel
though?
about that. I feel like that would.
Well, I don't know if he's. We're kind of assuming based off how he was reading it off to us that that's the order because of how he even started off with the two first
Right.
and even giving a release date for Superman.
Right.
So
Right,
we're
and then
kind
he
of assuming for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't.
Yeah.
I guess yeah. If he did, yeah, that probably is in order then. Yeah, because he announced. When did he say Superman was? Does anyone remember?
I mean,
I mean, it could change. It could very well change
yeah,
by
obviously, yeah.
July
I mean, even
2025.
Marvel changes things around all the time. But
So 2 years. Wow.
yeah, I know. I would say,
Okay.
like, even though I just previously said it's bold to be like, hey, let's have these as TV series to actually get people to be watching it. But I think Lanterns as a TV series, especially also doing Stewart going in there, I think that's cool. I think because Lanterns have so much like lore to it, it is a lot to just throw them in there into a movie if you're going to try to introduce them into chapter one. They have so much going on with them. So with the series, you can kind of maybe balance the pace a little more of putting all the information about them and their powers and their role in the universe because they have one of the biggest roles in the universe for DC. So I think as a show, that actually works. But like we've been saying, it's going to be really hard, I think, to get people to watch it and get that good viewership. Like I will be watching it, but I mean, most casual people are probably still got PTSD from the Green Lantern movie. And then now you're going to ask them to watch a TV show when it's going to be competing with all the other streaming services shows going on. It's going to be a hard sell unless they got some strong actors for it.
Which I mean, they will.
I think that is going to have to be their big key of who they cast.
They will. They
Yeah.
have to.
So,
but no, I definitely agree.
they need movie star
I
talent.
agree that Lanterns as a TV series really works for them because, as you mentioned, I mean, for the most casual fans, all they know is from that Oscar, performance that we got from Ryan Reynolds and all them back that movie. Besides that work of art, people really don't know much about Lanterns for the most part. So it makes sense that you need to do live action to give them, the background because, like you said, they are huge in the entire universe. Is that a chapter one thing? Maybe, but I think it would be at the end of chapter one once you've already introduced some other stuff. I mean, like you said, we're looking at 5 and 5 is how this chapter is broken down. Assuming he announced the entire chapter and they're not going to change it to, leak some stuff into chapter 1 or move stuff to chapter 2. Half of this chapter as TV series to me just seems a bit idiotic, just to be very frank with them. Like you said with Marvel is obviously the biggest running franchise ever. It has over 30 projects and the viewership is insane. The last few shows for Marvel have done nothing view-wise. People are over the shows. And for them to launch it and do half of their projects are TV shows, people aren't going to watch those. They're not. And if you're going to have a connect, I just think that was very stupid of them to do half these projects as TV shows. It should have been Lantern and maybe one other project. That was it for a TV show. That's it.
Now, I completely agree with you guys. It would work as like a series better than a movie would. But again, it's just like the placement of it is what kind of throws me off. I'm like, you're really gonna have it be after Superman. Maybe it connects there because of whatever happens in that film leads directly into that one. Fine, but I just find it a little weird that that's going to be your fourth project. Moving on. Next is going to be a movie. So this will be officially the second movie, the live action movie. It is called The Authority. Don't know much about him. I can't remember what he said about it, to be honest with you. Thoughts on this?
It definitely is one of James Gunn's passion project, aka like it's another obscure, very obscure. I mean, I never have heard of them. Just gonna be straight honest. And then now they're getting a film.
Early.
I feel like it's kind of like Marvel is just introducing the Guardians of the Galaxy, not to just keep bringing up James Gunn's projects, but I mean like you're bringing this film of a group that not many are familiar with, and right away you're introducing them. So it's bold. Also bold that that's a film and not a TV series, while others are TV series and not a film. So see it. I mean, obviously just out of curiosity, I'll give it a watch. But that's a lot of heroes though to introduce in chapter 1 in this universe. It's a lot for people to remember before getting maybe fully invested in it.
Well, I don't know if they're heroes.
Winning the casual fans.
I don't know if they're heroes. They're anti-heroes in a sense, I think.
Well, characters is what I meant. Yeah. Like that's because it looks like it's at least a group of like 6.
Yeah, it's a group that might go a little overboard on what they think needs to be done to like protect the Earth and the people, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is I guess as of now, we haven't talked about the other group yet, but this is the second so far group project in chapter 1. That's all I'm gonna say about that. First chapter.
Wow.
That is the second as of now, but there will be a third group project, and none of it's Justice League out of those 3. So that's all I'll say about that.
Yeah. Remember when we got like films about like individual characters that eventually led to a grouping of a team, and it was just one per phase last chapter? Yeah, that was wild. And here we are getting 3, 2 obscure ones. So yeah, that's wild. Moving on, live action series, Paradise Island. This has to do with the mascara. So not even Wonder Woman. This is about everyone but Wonder Woman, I guess. Will she show up? Maybe, but that was not said nor confirmed. So as
maybe
far as
post-credit scene, final episode.
maybe as us fans know, it's just about the mascara and everybody in it besides Wonder Woman. Live action series. Thoughts on this?
This feels like it's going to be a project that's chasing like award show nominations, because right off the bat he was like, it's like Game of Thrones meets something. I don't remember what he said, compared it to, but I'm like, okay, so they're definitely just going to go for some crazy over the top action scenes or some cinematography scenes that are just going to try to win some awards. That's what it feels like. and it's possibly going to be a very pointless project for chapter 1.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I think too. Going to be, once again, this is your first chapter. Let's do some solo projects of the more well-known characters, lead that up to something bigger, and then start to branch out when you have not only the big comic book fans, but you've also been able to pull some mainstream audience, and that's seems to be a recipe that would work, has seemed to work. So
yeah,
don't get it.
Yeah, but when has DC or Warner Brothers ever really followed that formula? They've kind of just done it their own way, and they continue to do it their own way. So let's see if third time or fourth time is the charm. I guess pretty much at this point. Yeah. Could I think it'd be cool? Maybe, but again, I think it's kind of pointless. The fact that you're going to have all these characters introduced that aren't really have to like they're from the place that the Wonder Woman's from, but other than that, like, is there really any really point to it? I don't know. Maybe there's gonna be a big ass war, and they're gonna come and help, or who fucking knows. At this point in time, as chapter 1 goes, I don't think it's really necessary, but whatever. Then here's like the next film. It is Batman Brave and the Bold. It introduces Batman at not at any specified age, but he has his kid already, Damian Wayne. For those who don't know, Damian Wayne would technically be the 4th Robin. So there's Dick Grayson, there is Jason Todd, Tim Drake, and then it's Damian Wayne. So you're meaning to tell me that you skipped over probably the 3 more popular ones? I mean, Damian is popular, but I don't know.
This is the oldest Batman you can get to before Batman Beyond. Like, that's what we're getting.
Yeah. Like, if you're thinking about this in like timeline order, this would technically be like Batman would have already been trained Dick Grayson, so Dick Grayson would already be Nightwing at this point. Mm-hmm. Jason Todd would already have died, and he's currently residing as Red Hood, and then Tim Drake is doing his own little thing as Red Robin probably at this point. So, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean,
I got that reference.
It's just like, it feels a bit copy and paste from Ben Affleck's Batman, of the fact that you're already skipping years of progress of what's happened, and then you got to just kind of fill in the dots. So it's definitely just an obvious, this is going to be a Justice League Batman. They're also in this awkward pickle because you got Matt Reeves' Batman. So how do you pop another Batman film potentially coming out around either the 2nd or the 3rd of Matt Reeves' Batman? And it's like, it's so tough. I mean, it also just instantly confirms that Matt Reeves' Batman will not ever be later introduced into the DC universe. But that also just means now you're having this Batman so late that it's like, how in the hell do you make any of his movies actually?
He may not be that old, though. They may just skip all the other ones and say this is a 34-year-old Bruce Wayne with a kid, and skip all the other Robins.
Yeah, and you know what?
I
did not like that because
an older Batman.
Well, I mean, I was just saying. I was just throwing.
Yeah, but at the same time. Yeah, but here's my gripe with it. Right, is that not only did you skip over Nightwing, Red Hood, and Tim Drake, he literally said it in the video. His favorite Robin is Damian Wayne. So, kind of like what we said earlier.
Shit too.
Yes, kind of like what we said earlier. James Gunn is kind of doing what he wants to do, and not really, incorporating, these more, liked and fan favorite characters, and sticking to what the timeline of the Bat family is. And he did say, oh, this leads to the Bat family, but at the same time it's like, he's the 4th one, right? Like, there's 3 other Robins that you just kind of skipped over. Like, what are you gonna do there, bud? Like, are you just gonna like retcon it and be like, technically this is gonna be the first one, and then we're gonna introduce the other ones later, which I feel is kind of stupid in my opinion. I would rather have had him be like, okay, this is a Batman Brave and the Bold. This is still a younger Batman, because he's technically taken in an orphan Dick Grayson as Robin. That would have been cool. And then eventually you introduce, he then goes off and does his own thing as Nightwing. You get Jason Todd in here, and then as the chapters go on and on and on and on, you can eventually get to Damian Wayne, because he is the fourth one. He is the kid that he has with Talia al Ghul. So it's like, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know.
Just
James Gunn is
Robin
kind of
getting
doing his own
shafted
thing.
again.
Yeah, James Gunn is like, what's my favorite Robin? Okay, so it's not this guy, it's not this guy, it's not this guy,
Very
this guy.
last.
Yeah, so let's choose that guy. And yeah, so I don't know. It's I'm not looking great, to be honest with you. I don't know. This is one where I'm like, I genuinely do not care for at this moment in time, especially when he did confirm that with these other projects that are going along, he's considered DC Elseworlds, I guess is what they're calling
Yeah.
it. The Joker
Yeah.
and the Batman universes, they're going to be Elseworld
Let's go.
stories. So to be honest with you, if he's going to be doing that, he's going to be doing the Damian Wayne thing. No, thank you. I will stick to the Matt Reeves universe and get a proper story out of that instead. I won't have a void of Batman, because I'll always have the Matt Reeves one. So, I mean, it is coming out October 3rd, 2025, but who fucking cares?
Stop. I think it's actually 26, to be honest.
No, it's 2025.
Let's go, baby. 1 year closer. Yeah, my final thing in that Batman is if it fucks with Matt Reeves' Batman, James Gunn, shut the fuck up and stop doing this. No one cares. That's my final thought on it. Don't fuck up Matt Reeves. Let him cook.
Yep.
And same with
Facts.
Robert Pattinson. Don't want him to get any Justice League. Keep him away from all of them. Don't need anyone else. Keep him in Gotham. Keep him with his own people. Don't want anyone else involved.
Yeah, because I know for a fact that Matt Reeves, if he decides to do a Robin, he will do it correctly. He'll still start off with the proper Robin and then make his way down. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents about that Brave and the Bold movie. Moving on is the project that Josh mentioned earlier, which is the Booster Gold live action series. I've heard of him. That's about all I know. I know what he kind of looks like. I don't know his powers, and I definitely don't know anything more beyond what he looks like and the name. So, Josh, I don't know if you want to, kind of dive a little deeper into that.
There's many directions they could go for this. They could go in like a goofy kind of series with him, because he has the potential for that. They can make it really serious about just like who you are as a character, who are you as a person when it comes to that. There's plenty of ways that they go with this. That's why I'm really curious about it. And I think this is the one project that James Gunn could have the most fun and kind of freedom of expression with out of the other projects that he's had. But the fact that we're getting him in chapter 1, that does not make sense in any form, especially just any comics that I've seen him in. He's always been one that is a way later down the line introduced character, because he wants his superpowers and everything like that based off other superheroes. So it's kind of like it would make sense for him to be later down the road seeing, a different person's perspective of what's already happened in your DC universe. So really weird. Definitely seems like, once again, it's just this James Gunn, just like, I really like this guy. I'm going to make it right off the bat, Okay. But I think they could stick the landing on this one. This is the one I have faith in.
Yeah, I agree. It's just weird to put him in now. I think giving, like you said, letting him sit back, be a part of everything, see everything happen, and then using that technology to steal all those powers or if he's from the future coming back and already knows all the knowledge to have those powers, then you're introducing somebody with the ability to mess with time so early. That seems kind of interesting to do. So yeah, don't know if that's a chapter 1 kind of idea.
Yeah, we have a reoccurring theme here for chapter 1. Okay, moving on. We got 2 films to end technically chapter 1. First one is Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. I mean, I don't know.
What are your thoughts on that, Alex?
I think it could be cool. It could be really cool, but here's my thing is that you're just barely introducing Superman, and you don't even have Wonder Woman in there yet. Do I think it could be a cool film? Chill out. Oh my God. Jesus. What I'm basically saying is that she's not a member. She's not a member of the Justice League. That is just kind of what I'm trying to say here is, I mean, she can be, but like I said, like why wouldn't you do a Wonder Woman film first? Why are you doing a Supergirl film? Like right
why
off
are
rip?
you saying that?
Are you saying
you
a girl
guys
can't
just
be
introduced
super?
Superman? Yeah. Why are you saying you guys just introduced Superman? Why does Superman have to shine for so long before we can let someone else come in and shine with him? Why can't 2 people shine?
Because the way the story works is that he is on Earth for a certain amount of time before.
Why is it always about his
makes
story?
it back.
Why is it his story though? Why is it always about his story?
I don't know.
There's 2 sides to every story.
You answer that question. Why does he have to be the first
3.
one?
I don't think he should be. I've said that. I don't know how I feel about Superman being the first project movie.
Right, and I think we kind of all agreed, like, why would you have it be like that? But I don't know, dude. I don't know. I like this whole chapter in general is just kind of like here's the bunch of projects. Like I said, it could be cool. It could be really cool. It's just a little weird that you're already putting her in chapter 1. That's just my one thing.
All right,
like I feel like that's like a chapter 2 kind of thing.
I think the emblem and title looks cool.
It does look cool, but
and I was like, "Nah, you won me over right there. I'll watch it now. It looks cool from the title and emblem. I'm in. Doesn't make sense, but I'm in."
I mean, what a chapter. What a chapter is going to... Oh, I guess you said Swamp Thing you were wrapped in that?
Yeah, that was...
That's the next... That's the last chapter.
It's a film. And I know he had a TV series, which people really liked. And then now he's getting a film. So that definitely seems some fan service film there. Just in case everything else fails.
Well, if everything else fails, we probably won't get to it, so...
No, it'll be like Flash or Aquaman. You know, it's the one that survives.
I'd be happy with that. I'm excited for it. I think James Gunn said in the video this one's going to be a darker, seriouser. He said something about that, I thought, like this one. I'm excited. I think Swamp Thing's dope. So that's cool. Swamp Thing rounding out the chapter. Pretty interesting. Don't know about all that, but yeah, overall, I mean, for a chapter, we got 10 projects. Half and half between TV series and movies. A lot of interesting characters. A lot of good luck on that storyline, guys. Get typing.
And you still got Lady Gaga Joker, bro.
Yep, and DC Elseworlds. That timeline apparently is Joker, the Batman, Joker 2, October 4th, 2024, and then the following year, Batman Part 2, October 3rd, 2025.
Yeah. I guess Matt Reeves just really celebrated his success with the first one and took a long-ass break, but...
Well, you know.
It's a long time.
I think he's doing something with the Penguin, so let's let him do what he's doing with the Penguin series.
I mean, that...
He's got other things to do.
He didn't even talk about that. I don't think anything
he's
got
a busy
talked
man.
about that.
All right. Well, yeah, let's not ruin it, okay? Penguin's going to happen. That's coming out soon. And then Batman Part 2 is coming out, all right? Matt Reeves is hand-to-hand in all of it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Just let that man cook. Let him cook.
Let him cook.
Thanks.
Please, Matt, we need you.
So
we need you, man.
Yeah,
Please.
especially with that Brave and the Bold film there. Jesus Christ. Um,
It's
well,
Jason Bourne.
yeah. We're not trying to be negative here. Let's just be honest. We want DC to
I am.
succeed because we want. Okay, me personally, I want DC to succeed because I would like to have these characters, be represented on screen correctly, with a good story,
Well, some
kind
of
of
them
like
you
how
would.
Marvel is. Um, what's that supposed to mean?
Nah, you don't want equal representation for everybody.
Oh no, I do. Yeah, we fight for equality here. We want DC and all its characters to thrive, but the way that James Gunn is setting up this first chapter
Camera really
here is
changes people.
kind of concerning. So yeah,
Listen,
I'll just leave it at that.
I have faith in James Gunn. I don't have faith in Warner Brothers, and that's why I don't have a lot of hopes and thoughts for this. Like James Gunn thinks he could do some great things. Think Warner Brothers not going to let that happen.
This isn't a list for Warner Brothers to have success in their minds. This is a list for James Gunn and DC fans that have success. But that is shown plenty of times before. That's not enough for Warner Brothers to support.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I don't know. You guys have any more closing thoughts, or is that pretty much it for this DC slate that they unveiled?
Good luck.
Flash
Yeah,
movie gonna
I
be
mean-
crazy.
Ezra definitely is crazy. That's going to wrap up this video, though. Make sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. If you watch James Gunn, bit of a lengthy video he put out. I think that thing was like 6 minutes long.
Yeah.
Bit of a watch, but pretty interesting. Cool to see him. Definitely be excited and hyped. Gonna be sad to see Warner Brothers absolutely take all that joy away from him. So comment down below what your thoughts were, where you think the DCU might possibly go, besides being canned halfway through this. Be sure to check out Apple Podcasts, drop podcast version at the same time, and we'll see you guys in the next one.